Falange Española Tradicionalista y de las Juntas de Ofensiva Nacional Sindicalista was the sole legal party of the Francoist dictatorship in Spain. It emerged in 1937 of the merger of the Carlist Party with the Falange Española de las JONS, and was dissolved in 1977 by Adolfo Suárez's government. History. Early history. Spanish Civil War. With the eruption of the Civil War in July 1936, the Falange fought on the nationalist side against the Second Spanish Republic, expanding rapidly from several thousand to several hundred thousand. The Falange's male membership was accompanied by a female auxiliary, the Sección Femenina, led by José Antonio's sister Pilar. This latter subsidiary organization claimed more than 500,000 members by the end of the war and provided nursing and support services for the nationalist forces. The command of the party rested upon Manuel Hedilla, as many of the first-generation leaders were dead or incarcerated by the Republicans. Among them was Primo de Rivera, who was a government prisoner. As a result, he was referred to among the leadership as El Ausente. After being sentenced to death on November 18, 1936, Primo de Rivera was executed on November 20, 1936, in a Republican prison, giving him martyr status among the Falangists. This conviction and sentence was possible because he had lost his parliamentary immunity, after his party did not have enough votes during the last elections. After Franco seized power on the 19th of April 1937, he united under his command the Falange with the Carlist Comunión Tradicionalista, forming Falange Española Tradicionalista y de las JONS, whose official ideology was the Falangists' 27 puntos, reduced, after the unification, to 26. Despite this, the party was in fact a wide-ranging nationalist coalition, closely controlled by Franco. Parts of the original Falange and many Carlists did not join the unified party. Franco had sought to control the Falange after a clash between Hedilla and his main critics within the group, the Legitimistas of Agustín Aznar and Sancho de Villa y Fernández de Celis, that threatened to derail the nationalist war effort. None of the vanquished parties in the war suffered such a toll of deaths among the leaders as did the Falange. 60% of the pre-war Falange membership lost their lives in the war. However, most of the property of all other parties and trade unions were assigned to the party. In 1938, all trade unions were unified under Falangist command. Dictatorship. After the war, the party was charged with developing an ideology for Franco's regime. This job became a cursus honorum for ambitious politicians, new converts, who were called camisas nuevas in opposition to the more overtly populist and ideological old shirts from before the war. Membership in the Falange reached a peak of 932,000 in 1942. Despite the official unification of the various nationalist factions within the party in 1937, tensions continued between dedicated Falangists and other groups, particularly Carlists. Such tensions erupted in violence with the Begoña incident of August 1942, when hardline Falangist activists attacked a Carlist religious gathering in Bilbao with grenades. The attack and the responsive Carlist government ministers led to a government crisis and caused Franco to dismiss several ministers. Ultimately, 6 Falangists were convicted of the attack and one, Joan Dominguez, was executed. By the middle of the Second World War, Franco and leading Falangists, while distancing themselves from the faltering European fascists, stressed the unique Spanish Catholic authoritarianism of the regime and the Falange. Instructions were issued in September 1943 that henceforth the Falange would be referred to exclusively as a movement and not a party. The Falange also developed youth organizations, with members known as Flechas and Palayos. With improving relations with the United States, economic development, and the rise of a group of relatively young technocrats within the government, the Falange continued to decline. In 1965 the SEU, the movement's student organization, was officially disbanded. At the same time, the membership of the Falange as a whole was both shrinking and aging. The organization's relatively few new members came mostly from the conservative and devoutly Catholic areas of northern Spain.